How did you use Captain?
What's going on, everybody? Deutschbag here, and today's video is going to be a little bit different than my normal gameplay videos or tutorial videos. I'm actually going to be talking about something that's kind of been a problem for a while now, and it just became a bigger problem. COX has just decided that they are going to start implementing their data caps. Now, for a while, they've said that here's your data cap, but they weren't really like enforcing anything, and now they're actually going to start enforcing data caps, which is really annoying. And most people probably aren't going to be affected by this, but it's something that affects you. Before I get into that, let's just take a look because I've got their page up here. So here, this little page was updated on Monday, so just a couple days ago, and it just stating that you have a 1 terabyte cap here, and they're like, oh, you got plenty of freedom to stream, surf, download, share, which for the most part is true for most people. But if you can see here, like, it doesn't matter what you're paying, you're basically stuck at the 1 terabyte cap unless you go gigabit, which even then is still a 2 terabyte cap, which is stupid because if you're paying for fiber, you're probably going to be using more than 2 terabytes because that's the point of purchasing the expensive and the super fast connection. Anyway, here's the different areas that are currently being affected by this. And I'll put this link in the description, so if you want to come check this out, you can. They talk about a little bit of a grace period that they're giving you because it looks like they're actually going to start with this in July. Just information about monitoring your data usage, blah, blah, blah. Nobody really cares about that. I know that a majority of people aren't going to be affected, but the people who are the people who, like take me and my friends, for example. Like, many of us work in IT. We all have tons of equipment at home. We host game servers. We back up all of our devices to the cloud because you want to make sure you have an offsite backup to store all of your important data. We, play games together. I mean, there's just tons of things that streaming video, Hulu, Netflix, Amazon, whatever other means you have of streaming data. So all of this stuff adds up over time. If you play PlayStation or play Xbox or something like that, you know that new games, if you get a digital download, are about 60 gigs. And that's not including day one patches that are usually a couple more gigs. Now, that's nothing in comparison to the 1 terabyte cap, but over time, like, that's those downloads are going to get bigger. The cap, who knows what's going to happen with that? It might get smaller, it might get bigger. But once you get to that point, that 1 terabyte, like, look at this. For 50 gigs, they're going to charge you $10. So if you were to hit your cap for the month, you have to pay $10 for 50 gigs. So if you went out and bought a game, $60 game, you're already over your cap. You have to pay an extra $10 just to get that thing downloaded. And that's assuming you still had a little bit left. If you're completely over, you have to pay $20 additional so that you can make sure you can get your 60 gig game. It's just ridiculous. Steam sale's going on right now. Just imagine if you bought a few 60 gig games during the Steam sale. It's just nuts. So I've had a few conversations about this today, and pretty much everybody I know is just mad. It's just maddening because I'm going to use an analogy that one of my friends brought up, and it like, there's no pool of internet. Like, you can't go to the pool, fill up your bucket, and take internet away. Like, the internet is always there. Why are we being capped? Just really frustrating. And then to make things worse, COX gives you a data usage guide. So let's click over that, and I'll link this one too. This is great. The first two tips that they give you for optimizing your usage, basically just make sure that you don't have viruses or anything that could be using up your data in the background. Make sure that there's, nobody, make sure your Wi-Fi is locked down so you don't have other people using it without your knowledge, because obviously that's going to count towards your data cap. Those are about the only two useful things that they have, because then it just starts to get ridiculous. Basically, they want you to know how everybody is using their devices or how they're using internet. So, I mean, for me and my wife, it's not a big deal. I kind of know already what our usage is going to be. But if you have a full family, like now you're expected to track every single thing that every person is doing if you're coming close to these caps, because you have to monitor it to make sure that you're not going over, which is dumb. So now not only I'm paying the same amount for internet, I'm getting less, and now I have additional work on top of that because I have to track all of this. It just gets better from there. Like, here we go, blah blah blah. Where is it? Oh yeah, actually it is this little part right here. So streaming videos, they tell you to use standard definition instead of high definition. Think about that for a minute. Those HD TVs you've been buying for the past 10 years, or the brand new 4K TVs that you've been purchasing, you can still use them, but screw your quality. Why? Why is that a thing? Why is this a thing? Why are we capping internet? So the more we use Netflix and Hulu and Amazon, I almost never use Amazon, that's why I keep forgetting about it. It's just such a... It's hard to talk about this without getting mad about it. I mean, like, the people who decided this should be a thing, do they not use the internet? I don't get it. Minimize multitasking? Sure, why not? Choose medium quality photos. So if you have a nice camera and you can take super high quality photos, you better dumb them things down before you start posting them on Facebook or uploading them to the cloud to back them up. Because, yeah, you don't want to hit that data cap. The best part is here's our the data usage calculator. So if you wanna determine, how many hours of web surfing you can do each month, that's pretty cool. And emailing, streaming video, and I know these numbers are BS, absolute BS. You know what? Even if you crank almost all of these up, it still doesn't hit that 1 terabyte cap. But I'll tell you what. Let me give you a great scenario where this 1 terabyte cap is extremely terrible. So let's say you use a cloud backup solution like CrashPlan, which, by the way, if you haven't used CrashPlan, it is absolutely awesome, and I highly recommend it. Very easy to use. So 1 terabyte hard drives are pretty common in a majority of computers. If you decide that you want to back up that whole 1 terabyte hard drive, let's say it's full of pictures and video and whatever else, you want to back that whole thing up, that's fine. Go ahead and back it up. But one day that hard drive is going to die on you and you're going to need to restore all that data. Well, here's the problem with that. You get 1 terabyte for your internet. 1 terabyte. So you can maybe stop doing half of the things that you do for that month, so that way you can save half of your connection. You can download half of your data, and then you can just wait till the next month so you can get your data back. So hopefully it's nothing important, because you don't know which half of that data you're going to need. I really don't have anything else. I don't even know what to say, because this whole thing is super ridiculous. It would be one thing if we were being charged less for internet. I'm still not okay with the data cap, even if I was paying less. But at least if I'm paying less, I get the illusion that I'm getting more for my money. Now, like I said, I'm still paying the same amount, almost $90 a month, and I'm capped at 1 terabyte. That doesn't include my cloud backup solution, which I'm paying, it's only $60 a year, but still that's $60 that now I have to determine when a drive fails how I'm going to restore that data, because my provider has decided that I don't need all of my data. So anyway, I guess I will quit rambling now. But I'll include the links in the description, and You know, this is more of just a PSA, a little bit of a rant, I guess, but I just feel like people should know about this and know that it's coming, and at least this gives you a little bit of time to prepare for it. I guess good luck with your internet.